5:30.
I'll order the Greenwood Redevelopment Commission on this, the 17th day of October, 2022.
Mr. Campbell,
Here.
Mr. Harris,
Present.
Mr. Hopper.
Here.
Mr. Hoover.
Here.
Mr. Moan.
Here.
Mr. Non-voting advisor, Mr. Alexander. Record shows he's absent.
We have a forum and we're all in the building. Appreciate everybody adjusting their schedule so we could go today instead of last Tuesday, where we didn't talk very well to each other apparently on where we were going to be last week. So, all right, but we're here now. All right, is there a motion to approve our minutes from September 13th?
I'll motion that. Second.
Second by Mr. Hoover. Any corrections, additions, solutions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Minutes are approved 5-0. New business, Riverfront District application for VSAC LLC 100 East Main Street.
Calling in to report, the lady, or maybe on our way back.
Anybody know anything about it?
I'm trying to get this work. You know, it's a 100 East Main Street, but crossing the public parking lot, so that gravel off there on the corner.
I don't have to think of it today for the first time, I think about 10 years.
Well, you
Seriously.
can't leave us this hanging, Kevin.
It is the house, we understand, immediately west of the property that we acquired between McKinley and Washington Street. I think I would just table it and ask him to come in on the next one. I don't know if to make the presentation. Normally that's what was done.
Yeah, I mean, usually they're here to.
Yeah.
They're correct.
Well, if they are going to call in and they want to jump back on, I guess we can just skip it. If they don't, well, it's going to come out. It's okay by me. It's okay by anybody else. Moving on. Monthly financial report. So,
Good afternoon. I just wanted to clarify, each received a link to the monthly financial report. With the agenda change, we are going to wait for your next meeting to address the public hearing related to the RDC appropriations, as well as the public hearing for the confirmatory related to the allocation hearing. Just want to put that on record. That's all I have. Thank you.
department reports, Mr. Hodson.
Here to present a lease extension for the post office. I believe you were sent a lease extension in a email. It's under the same terms and condition as the prior lease, it's just being extended.
Tim, who signs, Dave and Brian, or
Yes.
the mayor?
Right.
It's changed. Okay. I'll move that we approve the lease extension and form that presented.
Second. Second on Mr. Tom. Any questions from anybody? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. Yeah, thanks, Sam. Watson.
I have follow up on the Open Barrel annual report, and last meeting I reported that the annual report was in order, and the question is simply whether the report at today's meeting further reviewed and made sure that they had satisfied the requirements. So therefore, and they were in compliance. So I told them they don't have to appear. I would highlight just a few things in the report. first, they have expended $2.6 million on the project. And assessed value has increased from $1.1 million to what is now a little over $2 million, which of course is an increase of a little over $900,000. Their most recent tax bill indicates they're paying taxes, property taxes this year, in approximately $36,000. They have 28,824 square feet of leasable space, and they have just a little over 2,000 of that not leased, so they're probably ballpark 9% leased. They started out with 44 employees when the project agreement was entered. Now we have 53 on the site, and they have increased their wages on the site from $27 per hour to approximately $31 per hour. That's the highlights.
Hello?
Is this,
Miss Casey.
is it Casey Lucas on the phone?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm not getting my Zoom to pull up on my computer, so I had to dial in.
No worries. You want to tell us
Sorry.
what the project is?
Oh, yes, yes. And also, I believe that the other partner was dialing into Vince. I don't know if he's on here. But yes, we are we've hired a consultant group out of California, which is Invictus, to come in and help us with our location and the theme of our project, which we're wanting to do a unique cocktail lounge with a short menu by an executive chef, with more minimal hours, like that opens up at 4, closed probably 2 days a week. And yeah, we've been working with a consultant group out of California. They've already flown in twice, looked at the location, working on the plans with us, the developments, the menus, things like that. So now we are going to go ahead and, apply for our permit with you guys, because the SBA loan switched us over to help on the construction costs, and they want us to go ahead and have that locked in before we close on the property. So that's why we went ahead and went forward before closing, because then they said, we want you guys to go ahead and have that ready.
Anybody have any questions for Ms. Lucas?
I do have a little bit of clarification.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at the application for the riverfront action here, and I see in particular it includes some requests for financial assistance, funding request, $506,000 loan, and so
Yeah.
is this material or information taken from a loan application? I wasn't expecting that this was a request.
I'm so sorry, you're breaking up. Let me try and move to a different room and see if that helps. That could be why I'm not getting in with the Zoom either. Give me 1 second, please.
Okay.
Let me go out here. Okay. All right, let's try this again. Okay.
All right. Can you hear
Now,
me
what
better
did you
now?
say? Let me see.
Can you hear
Yep.
me better now?
Yep.
All right. And by the way, I am the attorney for the Redevelopment Commission, and
You're the attorney?
I am the attorney for the Redevelopment Commission. And
Okay. Hi.
at the application, it includes a funding request of $506,400 in the form of a loan, it looks like. And I wanted to get clarification as to whether that was just simply part of a loan application to your financing entity, or if you are truly asking for the Redevelopment Commission to provide that kind of financial assistance. This is generally a request for just an approval for getting a liquor license. And so we wanted to make sure that we understood exactly what you're requesting, and that funding request that's included in your application is not part of what you're requesting from the redevelopment.
Okay, yeah, so, sorry, I don't know. I basically submitted over to you guys. I filled out the application for the Riverfront District. That, what you're seeing there is the actual loan details from the SBA, which includes the purchase of the real estate and the remodel. And then each of us, personally, me and my other partner, are bringing 120,000 cash to the table outside of the SBA to also improve the property. So that I think what you're seeing there is just what our bank terms were, what was submitted to Celtic Bank, who's doing our loan. But the Riverfront District is where we're located on Main Street, which is actually the house I grew up in growing up. And it, you know, before this was a property management. So it's a complete stage 1 conversion, and we've already went up to the state and got the engineering done and the plans put up to the state, and we just got a release on that and things like that. So did that answer your question or clarify
Yes,
what you asked? Okay.
yes. And
Okay, perfect.
while we're at it, talking about the location of the property, can you confirm where it is located? It looks like in your application, it references 100 East Main Street. Is that correct?
Yes.
We give these to places where they don't actually own it yet. So it's currently owned by John.
Was there another question you may have cut out?
Hey, Casey, this is Brian Harris. I'm on the RDC Commission member. I'm a member.
Hi, Brian.
How
Hi.
you doing?
I'm
just wanted to
good.
I just wanted to ask, just so I have no conflict of interest, would Fifth Third Bank be one of those banks you're pursuing the SBA loan through?
No,
Okay.
Fifth Third is not part of this. Our bank that we're using is Celtic Bank. We actually went through a process of shopping with a consultant for this type of loan, a first generation bar with the small, kitchen, small menu. So we basically shopped before, to see who would fit us. And we have Celtic Bank, which is not located within our state.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So if there are no other questions, or whenever there are no further questions, I would like the opportunity to provide an explanation of what action and
Yeah.
how the action ought to be taken.
I guess my question is, when we approve these, I mean, are we approving it for the location and the entity, just the entity, or does it go hand in hand? It has to be the location, right?
It's the location to start with. It has to be within the Riverfront District.
Right.
And I have confirmed by looking at the Riverfront District map that this property is in fact within that area.
So it extends west.
Yeah.
The official name is Wayward Spirits Bar and Grill. Have that right?
Looks like it.
Yeah, so when we first, I set up a meeting about 6 months ago just to pick, I don't remember who's all on that meeting. I'd have to look through my last Zoom. But they did, before I got the ball rolling, we did confirm that it was in the district for that, for the Riverfront. I loved the fact of amplifying the growth of Old Town Greenwood. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a real estate broker, own a company, and I'm an appraiser. So I saw this as a great opportunity because of the location to expand the walkability through the parks with surrounding growth of restaurants, bars, and things like that. And then with that Riverfront District and that opportunity, to me, it was a great move for not only some jobs, but the walkability for the future of Greenwood to easy location to get something to eat, things like that, and moving things more out towards the 65 location, you know, where, you know, sad but true, but the, you know, we have the houses that were torn down across from the fire department. We're just diagonal from that. And then I know John Sexton was a big client of mine, and on the other side of the railroad tracks, we're looking at doing some development there. So just kind of expanding those options instead of it being so consolidated right there in that old town district, you know, where the older buildings are, to kind of moving some of those areas out, which I think would be great for growth. And the walkability from even like the summer concert series, those end at 9. And just an easy location to get to. And it's a main drag, you know, through the interstate to get into Greenwood. Willow, I need 5 seconds. I'm sorry, my daughter just walked in because I went to a different room. And she's 7, so she's trying to talk to me. I apologize.
Next question. I'm asking this to Mr. Watson, who's the counsel for this group. So to his question, it is attached to the facility or the location, not necessarily to the ownership. So it doesn't matter that the loan is not closed and they're not the proprietors of the property.
I don't believe that.
this before where the person, maybe I'll look closer.
Okay, you guys are kind of breaking in and out, but we will
Okay,
own
we're
the real
having
estate and
We're having a conversation here between us, so
okay.
we'll ask
Yeah,
you
we will
again
be
if we need anything, so you can rest for a minute.
All right.
Okay.
I don't believe that the applicant necessarily has to have ownership of the property at the time it is making this request. Ultimately, it's going to have to use that property in order to, you know, be eligible for the liquor license on that property. And as long as the location is within the riverfront district and the applicant has disclosed who they are and intends to use that location for this, it's going to be tied to that location and its applicant.
Stephen, is there a time limit when this must be consummated? When they go through with, they're able to open the business?
I'd have to review the statute to see if there is. I suspect not, but I can't guarantee.
It's not a limited number of applicants that we can accept, is there?
No.
As long as they're all within the district.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, Casey, is your loan application contingent upon getting approval of this ahead of time or no?
Yeah, so SBA, since we're going the SBA route, we had a meeting last week and they want that in place and confirmed, obviously, because they're, you know, loaning. Without that, they can't say, hey, we're going to loan on the cocktail lounge without a valid liquor license, right? So they're wanting to see that in place.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Watson.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right, so when the commission has a duty to review the application, determine whether the proposed project will provide an economic benefit to the riverfront district, and recommend whether the project site should be considered eligible to be a permit premises in accordance with statute. Any motion by this redevelopment commission to approve the application should also recommend that the project site be considered eligible to be a quote unquote permit premises according to the statute, and also should direct the mayor to communicate the approved recommendation to the Alcohol Beverage Commission.
All right, thank you, sir. Is there a motion to that effect?
I'll motion that.
No, second. Here's a second on this. Any other questions for anybody? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion is approved 4-1. All right, thank you, Casey.
All right, you guys, thank you. Enjoy your evening. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Wright.
Good afternoon. We have before you consideration of a professional services agreement with ADS Consulting for calendar year 2023. Same firms as the prior year, to continue as financial advisor for the RDC.
Any questions from anybody?
I'll move that we approve the contract with ADS.
Second, Mr. Hoover, second by Mr. Harris. All right, Mr. Campbell.
Although I'm third.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions from anybody? Comments? All right, turn down all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Mr. St. John.
Good afternoon. I have before you change order number 1 for the school zone safety project. This is the project that saw the installation of the school zone flashing beacons, curb ramp to some rectangular rapid flashing beacons. This change order covers the cost to replace a rectangular rapid flashing beacon along April Road at Greenwood Middle School. I think it was up for about a week before it was hit by someone. Traditionally, when that happens, we find the police report and the contractor will actually file against that person's insurance. In this case, there was no crash report, so we could file against someone's insurance to pay the contractor to replace that sign via change order. We do have the option to file against our own insurance and get that cost reimbursed in the future. The contract change order amount is $4,516.48. That amounts to approximately 0.8% of the total contract, and it is the only change order with a dollar amount on it I anticipate for this project.
Is our deductible on the insurance policy more than the change order amount?
I would have to defer to Mr. Ray on that. Yeah, our deductible is $10,000.
So whose fault is it? There was no police report. Ours, our own.
It likely happened in the early morning. We noticed it at like 9 a.m. one morning, so it happened overnight. The person didn't hit anyone else, so there's no one around, or they were able to drive off. There's no way to get a police report on it.
So we didn't know.
No cameras around there. Let's put a camera around there. Yeah, is it less than this? So when it happens again, we have a camera to get.
I'm going to be approved change order number 1.
Second. Motion by Mr. Hoover, second by Mr. Bowden. Questions from Mr. St. John?
I have a question, but it has nothing to do with this.
Go ahead.
On Main Street, there's a new high school there that does not have the flashing lights. Is there any plans to put these kind of measures there?
Yeah, so that high school came online sometime between when we finished the design plan for this project and when it went to bid, so we weren't able to include it in this project. Greenwood Bible Baptist on Sheep Road was included in this project, and they no longer have a school there. So once all the closeout contract documents are done with INDOT on this project, those are solar powered beacons, so we can unbolt them from those foundations and move them over to Main Street.
All right, thank you very much.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion is approved by 0. Anything from you, Mr. Mayor? All right. Is there a motion to approve our claims docket for October in the amount of $1,735,759.65?
I'll motion.
Motion by Mr. Harris. Is there a second? Second. Second simultaneously by Mr. Hoover, Mr. Campbell. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion is approved by 0. Anybody else out in the interwebs or in the room have anything for us? No. Hearing and seeing nothing will be adjourned. Not long enough, because I came back Tuesday night